Doing well. I've got a terrific session today on 7 uncommon practices that will help you build a great career. I promise these are tactics, outlooks, approaches that 99% of the world, maybe almost 100, just simply do not do. And if you do them, you're going to advance through your career. You're going to become pretty lovable and magnetic-like. People are going to want to be around you. And probably most importantly, you're gonna live a happier existence. So great to have you. If you are here with me live, get in that chat. Say hello. Put some question marks in front of your questions. Let me know where you're from, who you are, where you're from, what you need, and I'll do my best to help you. I got a great show. It's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. Then I got a ton of time for Q&A if you're here with me live. So let's get rolling right into it. I want to talk with you about these. These are just principles I live my life by. They're practices that I employ for myself every day, every week, all year long. Doesn't matter what's happening in the outside crazy world. These are things, approaches that protect me. And I want you to know that this will transcend careers, genders, demographics. Doesn't matter where you live in the world. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter if you've been working for 3 months or 30 years. These will work for everyone. Now, before I get into the 7 principles and practices that I want to talk with you about, I want to bring you back to something I did a little over a year ago. And I had this challenge that I threw down. It's called Master Your Craft. And I did some workshops. I created this challenge. It's a 9-day challenge. I created this beautiful workbook. So I'm starting right away with a giveaway here. But I want to call your attention to this guy. It's a 9-day challenge. There's 9 little videos, like 1 to 5 minute videos. And each day I send you an email. You follow along with the workbook and you work it. And it is about mastering your craft, becoming the best at your trade, being very great at what it is that you do specifically. Now, today is going to be about how to approach everything that you do related to your career so that you become attractive, you advance quickly and all that good stuff. Now, before I get into the 7, there's one other thing I want to mention. In that Master Your Craft challenge, one of the first things that I talk about is your attitude. This is step 0, so this one doesn't count, because if you don't have this in place, you're not going to do anything very effectively. And one of the things I mentioned in that Master Your Craft challenge, and I want to remind you today, if you haven't seen it, I know there are a lot of new people to my community, and everybody finds me whenever they find me, so you probably haven't seen that challenge. But one thing that I stress is there is a connection between your attitude and others. So it's not just for you and the way that you perform everything that you do, how you feel, how you approach it, how well you do. But I always say optimism, your optimism, is something you manufacture from your own attitude. A positive attitude will help you become optimistic. And optimism is something that you manufacture from your attitude, but inspiration is something someone else manufactures from your optimism. I want you to remember this, because this goes along with everything I'm going to tell you today, is the way in which you approach it, the way in which you look at it, the attitude, your positive approach to it matters and is going to make you that much more successful. So please remember that. So attitude is a big honking deal. Now, I'm going to start with number 1 here. And I want to say, before I hold up this flashcard, this little note card, that none of you are allowed to take a still shot of what I'm going to hold up, because it's going to look like a total detraction if it's taken out of context for something that I shared with you a week or so ago. I put a video out on how employers view education and experience, and that, in my opinion, experience will, on-the-job training and all that good stuff, will always trump education. However, one thing that I want you to do as you plan your life as you look at your day, as you look at your week, as you look at your month and all that good stuff, the goals you want to set for yourself, there's a first that I want you to do. And I will tell you that education in the proper regard and outlook will always supersede experience or on-the-job work. And what do I mean by this? I'm talking about when it comes to scheduling your life. Let's be really, really specific. When I look at my week, every week, the first thing that goes on my calendar is not the Tuesday Digest I have to write for you. It's not the live office hour show that I'm going to come up on Thursday and do a bang-up job for you or all that other stuff. It's where are my learning spots? What am I going to learn on any given day that is going to advance me personally or advance me professionally or advance my team, my business, and all that good stuff? So you know how a lot of people say, well, you should pay yourself first. You get your paycheck, then you take some money out of it and you put it in the bank, and then over time that really, really grows. This is the same thing. And I always say, I want you to know that when you approach each week, each day, that education, your planning of your education, I'm not talking about institutionally paid education, although that can be some of it, but I'm talking about how are you going to learn stuff. If you are the junior ad exec and you want to make the presentation and pitches to the big boys and girls, those customers of yours, but you're just not there yet because the senior execs do that, where on your calendar is the time you're practicing those pitches just like you were going to make them? Where are you enhancing your communication skills? Where are you growing your psychological skills? Where are you growing all this other stuff? So I always tell people, especially the ones that enlist me for high performance coaching, is let me see your calendar. And then they always want to know why. I say, well, you just got done sharing with me your goals and what you want to grow into and all that good and things you want to accomplish. Where on your calendar is all the time you're going to work that? Most of that hyper growth does not occur during the day. Okay, I've talked about this one before, right? When I wanted to become a coach and a trainer in an online format, I didn't know the first thing about a webcam. I didn't know the first thing about a camera. I practically still don't. Okay, but I had to allocate time to make sure that I understood how to do this effectively. There had to be practice. There had to be live shows too, right? And recordings and all that good stuff. But this doesn't just happen naturally. And it's not just how do I look through that camera to communicate to you. It's how do I make sure you and I are having a conversation right now and I'm not having a conversation with myself thinking about what I need to tell you, right? It's just you and me. So these are kinds of things that I want you to know. So I want you to plan them. Now, when you do that, I want you to remember, you get 168 hours in a week, I get 168 hours in a week. What I want you to start asking yourself on Friday for the next week or Sunday night or whenever, Monday morning, and whenever you're planning this is, what am I going to learn today versus what am I going to do today? It's never about what I'm going to do. It's about what I'm going to learn when I'm scheduling first. And what is it that I'm going to put on my calendar that's going to help me grow? Now, sometimes it might be things like work with the camera, set up something new, try something different, learn new technologies, whatever it might be that helps catapult me forward. Sometimes it's things like I got to get better at managing Facebook ads, and these are very complicated, and the targeting and the retargeting, and how do you find the right people that your message will resonate with and you will be able to help. All of the, and yeah, there's hours in my day to figure out and fumble through it and figure out the resources I need to find to help me and learn it and work with my team and all that good stuff. Okay, so I want you to start shifting your mindset. What am I going to learn today versus what am I going to do today? And here's the little action item on this one. I want you to assess your calendar. Literally look at your calendar, not right this second, okay? By the way, this replay will stay up on my YouTube channel. The calendar that you have, take a look back at the week. That's not long enough. Take a look back at the month. Look at that calendar. Look what you did. Look what you accomplished. Figure out how you grew or if you grew. And ask yourself, what happened? Is this the person I want to be going forward? Is this going to get me where I want to go? Ask yourself the tough questions. Those reflection exercises are going to do you good. All right, number 2. Now, this one, I know some of you do it, but it's pretty dang hard, especially when you need something. But can you imagine what your life would be like if you approached every encounter and every activity with a giving mindset first. Another first here. So when you approach anything, I've got daily lines that I put out. They're called Today's Lines to Live By. If you follow me on the social sites, you probably see these. I put one out many, many years ago, and I probably put it out again recently, where I talk about you will accumulate a lot more in life by sharing, or you will end up with a lot more in life by sharing rather than accumulating. It's true. The more you give away, the more that will come to you and find you. People will pop up. Opportunities will pop up. And I know a lot of you are job searching at the moment. And I know when you go to networking meetings, well, when we're going to get back to networking meetings, the inclination is, okay, well, I need to find people who can help me, maybe hire me or get me to somebody who can. But what if you approached every encounter with focusing on the other person? How can I help you? What if you focused on trying to connect to people at these sessions, at these group meetings, or whatever they might be? What if, this is maybe one I might use a few times during the talk, recruiters contact some of you, right, through LinkedIn and emails. Some are corporate recruiters, some are executive recruiters, and they send you these job postings like, hey, I'm looking for a database architect. And I saw your profile and I really liked it, even though you're a project manager. And what's going through your head is, well, that's silly. I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm going to reply back with some, snotty remark. Well, what if your mindset was, whoa, this person who could potentially be a window into the employment market reached out to me. Why don't I get on the phone with them? And if nothing else, I'll give them every database architect I've ever worked with or know, and help that person. And then in the process, I'm sure I'll be able to share my background and my interests and all that good stuff. And who knows, maybe they have an opportunity for me at the moment. They just didn't realize it. Or maybe I just plant a seed now, something that might happen in 6 days or 6 months, right? That giving mindset. So think that way first. It will do you good. Now, this one is, I like to think of this one as the greatest source of strain for virtually all of us in this world. You've got a plan, and then there is what is. And this world is just what is. The universe doesn't know good or bad. It just is, right? You have a plan. You have expectations, right? This guy right here, our expectations are the greatest source of internal strain that we will ever have, right? Why? The world is not the way we think it should be. I should have gotten that promotion. I should have been invited to that party. I would have invited her to the party if I had a party, kind of thing, right? This is the way I think it should be. Now, don't get me wrong. There are external stressors like somebody gets sick, divorce, right? Your girlfriend dumps you, all that good stuff. But your expectations about what you think should occur are the greatest source of strain that you'll ever have in your life. Could you get to a spot? I'm not talking about complete detachment here. I've got a quote in this book. Some of you got this book. I give this book away free for those $7 shipping and handling, that promotion. But in Out of Reach but in Sight, using goals to achieve your impossible, I talk about my mind is open to any possibility, but my heart is attached to no outcome. Now, it's not that I do not care, but I know that when I'm new at something, when I'm trying something, when I'm trying to improve myself and reach the next level, I'm experiencing firsts. Most of the time, we are experiencing firsts. But even when we're not, we have these expectations of how the world ought to be, and I think it really harms us. So what if you could change your perspective and not automatically assume that your expectations are going to be met? Sure, I want you to have goals. I want you to have targets. I want you to do things to stretch yourself. But what if you could get ready to face any encounter, and instead of being miffed like, oh shoot, how about this? Well, what can I do with this? We're all still in the middle of a pandemic. Right? Things are getting a little bit better, right? We're getting back to normal. Kind of the economy's starting to open up, at least in the U.S. and most states. Well, first time the coronavirus hit, first thing I thought of is, well, I'm going to have more time on my hands. I'm going to be home. I'm not going to be breaking out for lunch. I'm not going to be going to restaurants, dinners, and meeting my friends and all that good stuff. So what is it that I can do with this? And if your immediate reaction to things is that, I think you're going to be far better off. We had a whole month of April planned for you. Great projects, fun offerings, tons of free stuff. And when the coronavirus hit, I shelved all of it. Probably you won't see it till October or November or something like that. But instead, I completely revamped what I was doing. I said, what can I do with this? Well, I've got a little more time on my hands, right? I'm not doing some of the things that I normally would do. So I've got some extra time to make a bit of a shift and then build them something that's relevant to them now. Okay, so that's a big one. And one thing I'm gonna mention for those of you that are live toward the end here, I've got a little promotion going on in my leadership coaching program. One of the modules that we did in the leadership monthly program is on this, how to deal with unexpected change. Everything from the macro approach to how you live your life and approach your month and approach your week and day, to all the little interruptions that occur, to all the major catastrophes that occur. So if that's something you're interested in, there's more inside that program. But let's roll on to number 4. Now, I also, over the past month, have released a number of videos on focusing on what's in front of you, living life in the moment, but being completely present, right? That I stress that the joy is in the doing, and I want you to be there. I want you to be present. For me, the joy is in the doing this right now. This is awesome. I am nowhere else. I'm giving you my best, and it's the only thing on my mind. That's it. I'm not worried about what's for dinner or somebody who's upset with me or any of that stuff, right? I'm focused on you. But number 4, this is really important. What's next matters. Okay, I'm not talking about the bigger, better deal. Okay, I'm talking about making sure that wherever you are in life, that your calling is greater than your current situation. Your calling is higher than what you're doing at the moment. I'm not talking about not being satisfied. I'm just talking about making sure that there's a reason for you to get out of bed in the morning and that you are looking forward and you have something pulling you. I do not care how many friends you have. I do not care how big your business is. I do not care how many zeros there are after the 1 in your bank account. If you're getting out of bed for more money, you're going to have a lot of stress in your life. I know a lot of people who live in big houses who are basically walking time. That's it. You have got to have something that pulls you, whatever it is, but you got to have a reason to get up tomorrow. Interestingly, let me give you a little something on the more concept. When I talk about what's next, and we're not, there's ways of looking at things you do repetitiously. There's ways that you look at things in a growing fashion. So let me show you the distinction. We were at one of our Mile Walk Academy meetups. Actually, it was one in Chicago that we had some months back. One of the women, she came up to me and bless her heart, and she says, "Andy, I just got to tell you this. I just think you're amazing." It was such a nice thing that she said, that you come to these shows every week. I was having a show twice a week at that point, and she says, and you get asked the same questions over and over and over again by people, and you're joyful when you answer them. You never make anybody feel badly. You never look like you're tired of answering. How is that possible? And I said, well, when I think about my calling, right, I want to help more people. That's the reason why I do what I do in this format, so that I can reach more of you and help more people. So that person who asked me that on a Thursday or a Tuesday or a whatever, maybe they were just finding me for the first time. Maybe they hadn't seen me say it before. Whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. It's their first. And so I now get an opportunity to help another person. But for me to also grow professionally, and I want to build new things for you, I want to grow, I want to stretch myself, but I want to do that in tandem with you. So, right, some of you are in my job search boot camp. I have a signature job searching program to help you find a job. I have a lot of assets that are free that help you find a job. Well, what's next for you on your growth continuum? I want you to find job and crush job, right? That's why I develop my leadership coaching, so that I can help you do well in your career, throughout your career, through whatever it is you're doing, change careers or whatever it might be, and then do it well, but also live a great life. And I want to expand to help you in that regard. So that's how I grow. That's what I'm talking about when I say your calling has to be greater than your current situation. I'm really happy right now, but I'm not satisfied that I've done all I can do to rise up to my calling. You got to have a calling that's greater than your current situation. You've got to know what's next. I want you to reflect on this question, okay? What is my reason for getting up tomorrow? What is my reason for getting up tomorrow? I want you to think about that, okay? All right, now we're getting into some of my, I like these last three a lot. All right, this one goes out to all of you, especially when you tell me I have to do this research, I have to know how much I'm worth, I have to know what my salary expectations are, all this good stuff. I'm going to tell you, it's not just related to that. I don't want you to ever assume anything. Literally nothing. Zero. You just don't know. You don't. You just don't. You just don't know. You're interviewing for a job and you think the job's below your level. Do you know if they'll change the scope? Right? Do you know if they'll add responsibilities? That recruiter, remember that example I mentioned, that recruiter that reached out to you about that database position, even though you're a project manager. Might that recruiter have other positions? Might that recruiter be working for a firm who has other recruiters who work on placing project managers? Right? You just never know. And I want to drive this one home so hard. I actually pulled up a couple of messages that I got, and I want to tell you these stories. And there was this woman, she was a boot camper, and we were having a session last Friday, so less than a week ago. And one of her questions was, Andy, thank you, I have 2 job offers. One of them is a lot lower than the other. And her question was, the one that's a lot lower, which is drastically lower, I think I'm going to turn down, but it's with somebody who is a colleague that I know and I really want to keep, I think it was a her, in my network. So how do I let her down gently? And here was the advice I gave her. So I said, okay, well, first thing is, if you truly don't want that lower paying job and you just want to take the other one, that's great. But if because this person is somebody in your network and is a colleague, and you want to retain that, I think you owe her a bit of an explanation, and I would suggest, if you want to take the other job, that you let her know that there's something about the other job that you just really love that her job wasn't able to give you. Maybe you want to have international experience and maybe they're a domestic company. Something like that she couldn't do anything about. Now, that's if you just want to take that, your mind is made up. If you're not sure and it's a money issue, that's something that they could potentially change. Now, at the time she asked me the question, I didn't know how drastic a difference we were talking, and this is a relatively junior person, so I'm thinking that it's not hugely different in the way of compensation, but I didn't know, but that was the advice I gave her. The next day, she made that, let me see, I'm gonna pull this up here for a second. She made that call. And here's what she sent me the next day. I took your advice, made the call. Once I spoke to them, so on and so forth. Now, the lower offer was $48,000. Okay? So I want you to think about this. This is a pretty huge difference. So she talks to the individual, and basically within 10 minutes, the person says, okay, I'll match the 70 grand. Now, my 9 semesters of higher math says that's 46% increase. That's a 46% they upped the salary. Now, would you have assumed that they would have done that? No, I wouldn't have either. We'd have both been wrong. But look at what else we're talking about here. How is there a market value between 48,000 and 70,000? How would you know that? That's such a wide delta that's incredible that you would never think that they, right? Here it is. I'm very taken aback with the leap in the offering in a 10-minute phone call. Now, then she asked me for more advice, okay, which we've gone back and forth on. But how incredible is that? But how about this one? Here's another one I want to show you because I think this is so awesome, and I want to put this plug in again because I shared this with my community in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group and LinkedIn groups, and I've shared this with my boot campers and my folks in my leadership program. This is a woman, she happens to be in my job search boot camp and in the leadership program. And I mentioned that I meditate every day and I use the app Headspace. I really love it. I paid for a year and I wanted, just to share with everybody that I discovered that Headspace was offering a free annual subscription to anyone who was unemployed. That's all I had known. So I shared it with my global community. And she responded to one of my digests that I sent a week or so ago. And she said she's been thanking me. She's been getting a lot out of the leadership program. And so she said, well, hey, Andy, I wanted to share some things. She shared something about Insight Timer. But then she says, I wrote to customer service. This is at Headspace. And I was wondering why I couldn't get it for free. And they explained that it was only for U.S. People. And there was some other reasons why. Okay. So now she said, well, at the moment, they gave me a 40% discount for a year. This isn't chump change we're talking about, right? But it goes back to, hey, not taking no for an answer, not assuming. The old me would have just accepted the fact that things are not available. That's an awfully bad assumption to make. But the new me is going to put effort in getting what I want. And I thought this was just... I loved this message, especially because she came back to me in this video here about the world is one big ATS if you let it be. So that's something I put out a week or so ago about the whole world is going to tell you no, right? The whole world is a bot that's excluding you. Don't take no for an answer. Don't assume. The answer will always be no. The answer will always be no if you don't ask, right? So I want you to understand that this stuff happens every day. If your assumption is the world works the way the world works, the way you think it works, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. So I want your inclination anytime you get in a situation, whether you're going to negotiate your salary, whether you're just going to introduce yourself to somebody, anything that you do, I want your inclination to be not assume, but just to find out more. Right? When they say, hey, tell me about yourself, I need to know what it is about me that you would like to know. I need to find out more. I shouldn't just assume that it's these 10 things you want to know. That's just an example, right, from what a lot of you are living right now. Please, inclination, find out more. Whoever has more information makes better decisions. All right, next one. Got a couple stories on this one. Length eliminates risk. You got to know this. The longer term you think, the better short-term decisions you make. Do you have any stocks? Right? Every day goes like this, right? If you looked at it every day, you'd freak out. But if you said, they're there, I'm going to wait 10 years. Bonds, same thing. This house I live in, we bought it 2.5 years ago. I have not one time checked what the value of this home is by somebody's estimation. No, because I intend to live here forever, kind of thing. So, but on any given day, on any given week, the value of the price will go up and down. So the longer term you think, right, that job that you want to take, you got to take a swing. You can't worry about, well, what if it goes? No, well, what happened? What are you going to do when it goes right? Okay, I want to tell you a couple stories here. One is about this woman who I was a client of mine. She was a recruiter. Actually, she hired MileWalk to do some searching for some senior positions for her consulting company. So she was the recruiter. She reported to the head of talent acquisition and HR. They enlisted us. We developed a great relationship. At one point, she calls me up and she says, I've been here a while and I want to move. I want to leave this company. And I'm thinking of going to this other company. I'd love your advice. I told her, don't go, because I think that other company is volatile. The environment is crazy. She's like, well, yeah, but they're going to let me work from home 2 days a week, this and that. The other thing, I says, I think you're being short-sighted, but I support you. You asked for my counsel. That's what it is. She goes to that company. They let her go in 5 months. After the 5 months, she calls me up. I says, hey, her name's Jen. Don't worry about it. Why don't you come and work with me at MileWalk and you be a recruiter? And it'll be a lot of fun. I'll teach you everything I know, and we'll have a great time. She says, that'd be awesome. So I said, now listen, when you take this job, I need you to know that if you do what I show you what to do each day, day in and day out, you're going to make a lot of money. You have to focus on the things you can control. You need to have a steady rate at which you work, at which you surface candidates, your pulse, and everything. You really should not be paying attention day to day with how you think things are going. Give it 2 years. You want to build up a book of business. You want to build up a candidate pool. I need to know going in that you can do it. She says, this would be great. Now, she makes probably at that time about $80,000 a year. I said, listen, you're going to make 200 or more probably in your first year. You just got to stick with it, and you can't freak out every month, every week, every day. What's happening? Okay, she starts. First month, makes a couple placements. Yay. Commissions are rolling right in. She's like, this is great. Awesome. We got other clients. We had a search we were doing for a senior person, and Jen was the lead recruiter to find the people, and I managed the account. She found 3 amazing women that were perfect fits. Our client, which is the first search we were ever doing from, we never seen anything this awesome, this fast. Well, the client messes something up. Turns out, without dragging you through the whole story, that they couldn't hire any of them. They gave offers to 2 of them and both rejected them for different reasons. It was a total disaster. Jen was very deflated. It was probably a, $30,000 fee for her alone. And mentally thinking I got the money, it didn't work out. She goes into a tailspin. Work starts to suffer. A few months later, it's like, Andy, I can't do this anymore. I said, oh man, you're only 8 months in. Please, I really think you're being short-sighted. You cannot look at the individual things. If you keep a steady pipeline of candidates and all that good stuff, well, what happens? She quit, and then in the next 3 months, we placed 7 of her people. She probably would have gotten another 150, 180,000 in just those 3 months, right? That's what I'm talking about when you look at things in a longer time frame. How does this relate to you? All of you job searching out there, it's a Monday, you send 3 boss hunting cover letters out, nobody gets back to you by Tuesday morning, and you think you suck, right? Well, send 3 more out on Tuesday, and 3 more out on Wednesday, and 3 more out on Thursday, and 3 more out on Friday. That's a 15 message week. I call that pretty awesome, right? It will happen. I put this leadership program together. We started about 15 months ago, and I said, I'm going to give myself 2 years of this program to get it to the point where people are starting to get familiar with what it's all about. It's a new offering for me. It's a new curriculum line. I have to figure out what resonates with them, what kind of content they want to, I know what I want to share with them, but I have to learn from them, and so on. Every month we offer some type of promotion, and I look at it. Sometimes it exceeds expectations. Sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. Right? And we get more data. Why is it that it's not a good idea to look at things short term? Think about the number of variables that occur at any moment in time that you do something. Okay, it was a Monday. Oh, sorry, it was a January. Wait, the weather was bad. Oh, it was sunny. Oh, it was snowing. Hang on, we were in the middle of a pandemic. Wait a minute, that industry is starting to take a dive because the demand for such and such isn't right. Wait, a new technology has been created which is going to sunset another type of. All of these things occur at any moment in time. So if your window is super short, like for me, the types of things that I offer to you, what I'm looking for is, what do you consider to be the most valuable? What do I think is the best thing I can service for you and teach you? And the combination of how I present things to you and what I highlight. So that takes time to change each variable to know what the perfect mixture is. So the longer you can give yourself to tinker, the better, right? Put it in motion, revise one element. Put it in motion, revise another element, and then look, oh, wait, that was bad, put it back. Okay, now you go to another iteration. Variables. Length eliminates risk. Okay, last one. I love people. I want to meet people. I do. Who do you want to meet? Do you have a list of people that you would like to meet, that you want to meet? Who are they? Is it the CEO of a company? Is it a mentor of yours that you see online? Is it that senior vice president of sales at that organization? Is it somebody who runs a group? Who is it? So figure out who those people are. I guarantee you will figure out a way to get to them. You will. You will. People are more accessible than you think. They really are. And that 6 degrees of separation, that's out the window, right? It's like 2 at the most anymore. You just have to find the right person. So I want you to think about those 7 things. So here, I'm going to recap them for you. Number 1, when you're scheduling, I want you to make sure that you're putting in time on your calendar for you first. Use the entire week. Number 2, approach everything with a giving mindset. This is huge. Realize the world just is. It just is. Don't think about what's fair. Life has never been fair. It isn't now, never will be. It just is. So watch your expectations so that you don't get stressed out. All right, number 4, is your calling greater than your current situation? If it's not, figure out what to do. All right, that's number 4. And, you know what? I knew as I was rolling through this. Here we go. Number 5, never assume. Number 5, never assume. Number 6, length eliminates risk. And number 7, who you want to meet. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you are if you're watching this on the recording, I'll see you next time. If you're here with me live, I wanna mention to you very quickly a couple of things that we have going for you. One of them, if you've been on my email list, you know that I dubbed this Organization Week. And tomorrow in my leadership coaching program, I'm going to teach you some intricacies to planning and prioritizing your day. It's not stuff I've shared anywhere. It's not stuff I've shared in the public domain anywhere. And so we're going to go through that tomorrow. I have this promotion that I've been messaging you about, and I just want to very quickly share with you what that looks like, or at least let you know where it is, so that let's see, let's get this, there we go. So I've sent you some messages. If you're on my email list, they drive you, if you're inclined, to go to this page here. So we've got this running through tomorrow. There I am, looking what I think is quite sharp in my leadership t-shirt, but I take you through in a 5 or 6 minute video what this is all about. But ultimately, this is about making sure that you are designing and deliberately going through your career and your life. That's what the leadership program is all about. High performance, enjoyment of everything that you do, not just your work-related stuff. So I walk you through that, and I talk with you about the offer. You can jump in for a month. You can cancel anytime. If you're interested in kind of key things that you're going to be learning related to confidence, goal setting, focusing, habits, there's a ton of organizational stuff. There's a lot of these interaction skills about building trust, influence, building your personal brand and your stories, building relationships, and a ton more. There's probably more in here about me than you've heard before, but I wanted to share that. Oh, I have got some handsome and gorgeous people sharing with you their experiences of what it's like in the program. You can check those out. And when you get in, this promotion right now, the Career Accelerator, I'll talk to you about that in a second, is available. It's a $400 5-module program, but you get an entire library of assets, recorded videos that I've done live, previous leadership lessons. It's really pretty sweet. Anna will tell you about her experience with the Career Accelerator program, but she's been in her new job for a year and been loving that, as well as all the leadership lessons. When you join, when you pop in now and you start your first month, in your first week, I give you kind of an orientation week where I facilitate lessons for you about every other day, I think, on building confidence, mastering your focus, building some great habits. These are extensions of some of the emails you might have been getting from me. These are much deeper lessons. They're, an hour video of teaching. Really nice. And then when you're in there, I also unlock some hour to 2 hour long lessons on building your brand and your personal story, how you do that effectively. I have a packet in there on goal setting if you are in the monthly program. If you're in the annual program, I give you my goal setting masterclass. And there's more testimonials, of course. You can try it out for a month. You can cancel at any time. This is a real steal. If you can swing the $297, because it's half price, you get an extra $200 program. But it's really, really nice. You can check out the options. It's like I said, it's been a lot of fun. We've been doing it since March 2019, and this Career Accelerator, to give you a better idea of what comes with it, this is about how to do well on your first 90 days on a job. But anybody, even if you've been in a job 2 years, if you got your hands on what to do, those 12 steps, I think they'd go a long way. Not to mention how to make sure that you are being deliberate about planning on and executing your promotion and what it is. There's another 12-step program that I have there to teach you how to do that. It is probably different than you would anticipate, but it's very, very effective. One thing that I absolutely love teaching is my idea generation methodology. I call it my excellence planning. It's something I do every day. But no matter what you do, no matter where you are in life, whether you're 25 or 22 or 52, I give you my formula for how I come up with ideas to generate projects, needle-moving ideas that actually add a ton of value. You could go through the same process to do it for yourself, for your team, for your boss, for your company, for your customers, for your vendors, whoever it might be. But that's a really great module. And then I give you more on my organizational stuff. So how do I plan my year, my life, my month, my week, and my day? Tomorrow's session is going to be another look at that. In a different form. And then here's something that I think most people do very poorly. They're not ready for their reviews, whether that's a monthly review, a quarterly review, semi-annual, or annual. What is it that needs to be collected that is important, that's valuable for you to have at your fingertips, to make sure that you can remind whoever your reviewer is, whether that's your boss or your management team, what it is you accomplished, what the impact was that it had, and how to go through that discussion. That's what the Career Accelerator is about. And funny thing is, this isn't even the meat and potatoes. This is actually the bonus, the gift. The leadership program itself has so much more in it. And when I was talking about this library of assets, I have a very, very a cool workbook that I give each month to you. So this is actually tomorrow's, but it's I guess probably 12 pages of content, but you get the outline for everything that you need to think through in detail. So this is what I'm going to be covering. Of course, there's going to be a live session on this, so this is going to make a whole lot more sense, but I just want you to get a sense of the level of depth of these things. And then other things in the booklet that people absolutely love is you have to do the self-reflection in order to understand where you are, why you're not where you are, right? I want you to be happy. I don't want you to be satisfied. But in order to move forward, you need to think through why it's not working. So that's what the thought provokers are. And then usually most months, I would say 5 out of 6 months, we have a challenge that we do. And it's really, really great. You get the recording, all that good stuff. If you've been in the Mile Walk Academy and you've gotten any of the programs, or maybe you've taken the Job Search Challenge or something like that, you have a feel for how we package it with the recordings, with the downloads, with these libraries of with this library of assets and all that good stuff. So the promotion runs until tomorrow. You can try it out for $49 a month. If you are in my Job Search Bootcamp, it's $39 a month for you if you want to stay on the monthly plan. But for everybody, the annual plan, just because I think it's already so discounted, is $297. So I hope you can jump in. We are absolutely having a ball, as you can see. But check out the page if you haven't been there in a while. I revamped it about a week or so ago, so there's some new stuff on it, and it gives you probably a better look and a better understanding of what we're delivering. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right. 45 minutes, not too bad. How are we doing in the chat? I have to look and see. Let's see. I've got Varun, and I think, Varun, how you doing? Dana is not here. Adam, how are you? John, welcome from Vegas. Portia, nice to have you. And Juan, Pina, Giovanni, love it. Katie, Dunk Pacino, I love that. Great to have you all and everybody else. And I know Varun has got a question, and I can't put his, let me see. I think he's got, let me see if I got, a little housekeeping here, folks. All right. I've got Varun, and the first question is, good to see you. I've noticed some recruiters post jobs that are not listed on the actual company, but want to submit your CV. Are not listed on the actual company. I'm wondering if you mean third-party recruiters. Follow up with the hiring manager after 7 days and was told still reviewing. Should I reach out again after another 7? I probably would expand it a little bit for you, my friend. All right, so I'm not sure what you mean on the first one, but on the follow-ups, one thing I do want to mention, if you're loving this, please click the thumbs up and share it with people. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I always forget to tell you guys that. But one other thing that I want to share with you, and Varun, thanks for kind of teeing this up for me. Starting Tuesday, June 2nd, we have a job interview mastery 4-part workshop. It's going to be live. I'm going to be there when answering questions, all that good stuff. I've got some portions that are recorded lessons, but I'm going to be with you live there, answering your questions in the chat, all that good stuff. And if you are in my job search bootcamp, you'll get all the recordings. So if you are not, you are welcome to attend the program live, but the recordings are going to be only for people in that program. So I hope you can join me June 2nd, June 4th, June 9th, and 11th. I do have a wonderful booklet that helps you follow along with the whole program. But in addition to the follow along sections, I also have a number of checklists that are in the booklet. So you'll have things about how to prepare for a job, how to tell your stories, all that good stuff, how to ask questions. There's things on phone interviews, video interviews. I got a 20-point checklist on that. All that good stuff is in the giveaway. I'm going to be having the sessions on YouTube just like this, but the booklet is, in order to get the booklet, you need to register. So just opt in and grab it. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can go to the next one. Adam Stark. For my earlier jobs, I hated them and found them mundane. How do you make them sound interesting and more achievement-based? Okay. Adam Stark, great to have you. Always a pleasure. And this is a fantastic question, and I know a lot of you have it. I know a lot of you have these questions because some of the earlier jobs might not be that exciting, or some of the jobs you might have might be repetitious. So let's recap the question here. So Adam had these earlier jobs. He did not enjoy them because they were relatively mundane. How do you make them sound interesting and more achievement-based? All right, let's work the question backwards. The achievement comes in a couple forms. I always tell you that when you're in an interview and you're sharing a story, or especially on your resume, the question you're trying to answer is, what happened as a result of me doing what I did? So what was the outcome? Not necessarily the deliverable that I produced, like managing the customer service team, right? Or making, or selling the clothing or whatever it is. It's what happened. Well, we were able to help style up people. We were able to improve the customer service based on all these things that I did and these new processes that I implemented. Whatever your activity is, the spice to the story comes in the form of the benefit to somebody else. So whatever it was that you did, you need to add that. And secondly, to throw on top of that, to make it sound even better, say, you know what? While it might sound repetitious, what I did, what I found really rewarding about it was, this goes to your mindset, it goes to your approach, it goes to your attitude, things that companies will definitely favor. If you said, well, you know, I was parking cars, okay, well, and you know what? I feel like anything that I do, I want to do it the best. I want to be smile to the person coming into the restaurant. I want to make sure that the car is well taken care of. It was fantastic for me to help serve all those people, and it was a way for me to make money to pay for my college or pay for my whatever, or until I got my first professional job. And the thing that I really loved about it, interestingly enough, was not only did I get to see and meet a lot of people and learn some human behaviors, but also I got to see a lot of cars. And I thought that was kind of cool because I like to see new things. So I did whatever I could to make that job as fun as it possibly could be, right? Like if you add, I understand that some jobs are only so exciting, but the way you tell the story and what you highlight or illuminate about the act itself or what it did for you is what raises the quality and the engagement of the story. Okay, so that's what I would do there. I would pull them out. Now I don't know what all those jobs were, but like parking cars is right. For most people, it's not, you know, valeting is really not exciting. So I would look for things like that. All right, great to have you back, buddy. Portia, how are you? Juan from Chile. Giovanni from Pennsylvania. Katie from New York, great to have you. Noah, enjoying so much watching you. Thank you so much. Glad to have you. Glad to be back. I'm in the middle of career changing actively, looking for a job with no success. I'm a pharmacist in Europe and have a 20-year gap in working as one. Would you be able to take a look at my situation? I produced a resume that didn't take me anywhere so far. I would love to get in touch with you. Noah and everybody else, I do resume reviews. I don't write the resume from scratch. I know you're asking me if I review it. And I do that as part of my job search boot camp. The job search boot camp is the end-to-end job searching program, has everything in it that you could ever imagine needing and way more. And as part of a service to the job search boot campers, they can enroll in an additional resume review or a coaching session. So those are upgrades, so to speak. So that's how you would you'd get in touch with me. Go by enrolling in the program. If you have questions about the program, and any of you that have any questions about anything related to our products or services or any of that stuff, just email support@milewalk.com. Happy to help you. All right, let's see. Ishan, how are you? Got a question for me. Where is it? Mahesh. Andy, you were so missed. Please inspire us with your wisdom. It helps us survive this crisis. Hi from the Netherlands. Wait, so thank you for this, Mahesh. I am happy to be here for you guys. I really am. I know I was off a few weeks because we had a lot of live sessions with people in my job search boot camp and some of the other programs. But I have been putting out a lot of content, not just on my YouTube channel. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but have you seen it on Instagram? Have you seen it on LinkedIn? Have you seen it on Facebook? There's a lot of videos, way more go out on those platforms because I put 2 a day on those platforms. And I put 2 a week on YouTube. So if you're looking for help, if you're looking for inspiration, motivation, and all that good stuff, connect with me, especially on Instagram. I think Instagram is the coolest app for finding what you want, because if you just open up your phone or your computer, it's all gridded there for you. You can scroll down and look at the quote cards for inspiration. And we put square and vertical videos on Instagram and on IGTV, and we give you the headline so you know immediately what it is. So you can kind of scroll through and then pick and choose what you want. But we had one out the other day that Rochelle from Huntington Beach served up in one of the live shows earlier, and I talked about, are you taking advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? And I choose to look at it that way, right? I don't want a pandemic. I don't want anybody to be sick. I certainly don't want anybody to die, right? This is awful what we're going through. What am I going to do with this, right? Can you upskill? Can you take more time to train, right? Can you take a step back and look at your career, whatever it might be. But Mahesh, great to have you. Handsome looking dude. Tammy Chen, always a pleasure. And Mom, love you. Love you. Hope Dad's there too. Tony P from Dunedin. How are you, buddy? Great. I miss you, man. You don't write, you don't call, but you do show up to the session, so I love that. Steve G, Mayor from down the block. You guys are great. Ishan, interviewing for a company last year, disclosed what I earned at my last company, later accepting a marginal raise. I know I'm being underpaid by 25%, seeking a 20% raise with a great case. Is this foolish to expect this? So, I hope you paid attention to point number 6. Right? Or I should say point number 5. Never assume. And number 1, when you say you know you are being underpaid, I would respectfully disagree with that. You feel you are being underpaid. That's it. There's nothing in this world, no sites, no people, no nothing that says you have to be paid 25% more than you're currently earning. You would like to earn more. I want you to earn more. I'm in this for you, not for them, right? So I want you to think about some of those emails I showed you from the one woman in the boot camp who got that 46% counter raise before she started, or I don't even know if she accepted it yet. She was muddling that over. This was just so recent. Or Tammy's email. I don't think anything is foolish. I think it's foolish to have any expectations whatsoever. I do. I think that you can have standards, the way you carry yourself, the way you run your life, the companies you want to work for. You have certain standards. If they do not meet them, or they have not met your expectations, then you can express what it is you want, or you can obviously go and leave. And I value the fact that you always have choices. But that's how I look at that. So I would go after what I want, but I think the foolish thing is having any expectations. I don't think it's unreasonable for you to go and ask for the raise. By the way, on Friday, June 5th, so some of you are going to be watching this today and are here with me now, and some of you will be seeing this in the future. But on Friday, June 5th, I'm putting a video out that is probably, Ishan, the single greatest tip I can give you for how to ask for a promotion and a raise at promotion time, or if you're seeking a raise on your work anniversary or annual review or whatever it is. This is the tactic you need. June 5th. All right. Miss Marie from London. Oh, yes, you are a leader and a boot camper. Dan, how are you? Welcome to the community, my friend. Nice to connect with you on LinkedIn. Put a picture up there. I mean, on your YouTube thing. Bob, how you doing? Warren, my boot campers, great to see both of you. Christian from Chile. Costas, how are you? Stacy's with me in the house. Patrick from Boise, great to have you. Hey, Steve. All right. Let's see. Frank, my boot camp. Natalie, how are you? Nice exchanging emails. Hope you got my email this morning. Let me know if you had any questions about that. Andrea, great to see you from the UK. Suma, is that it? Sumya, maybe from Germany. Daisy from New York. Sanchita, I'm a boot camper. You guys are awesome. God, so many of you. Hey, Cynthia. Pat, how are you? Two Crash. Vignay. Oh my God, you guys are great. Here, give me a question. Sent your rejection email response to a job but wasn't selected. Is there a point of following up days later? Okay. So Christian's asking a question about the rejection email response. If you are not familiar with my getting a job after being rejected technique, I would check out that video. It's how to get the job after being rejected. I give you a script in that video. That's what he's referring to, that he sent that email. Is there a point of following up days later? Now, if it's me and I send that email, I would use read notify on that email to know if they opened it. Okay? If they didn't open it, I would give them some time to open it. the chances are they opened it. If they opened it, then I would look to see what they did with it. Did they, does it look like they read it, deleted it, or forwarded it, or whatever? And I would follow up with them 30 days later. That's what I would do for that particular type of interaction. Hope that helps. I would do it though. There is a point, and I would do it. Larry Cohen, my boot camper, how you doing, buddy? I have an informational interview tomorrow. I watched your video. Any other tips you would like to share? Only one or two if another one comes to mind. So I do have a video out there, as Larry is referring to, about informational interviewing. I don't love the word informational interview. I put it in the title because that's what people call it. I think everything is an interview. It might not be a rigorous interview, but it's your time to shine. So Larry, I pulled this up because I want to echo some points I just made. Right? We're talking about never assuming. So don't assume anything. Go in with the mindset of what is it that you need help with? Okay? So find out information first. So instead of, if you and I sit down and it's kind of a, hey, yeah, Larry, I'm working Mile Walk, I'll meet with you and maybe give you some insight and this and that. Okay, if you come to the session with me, the biggest thing that I would do is, what is that giving mindset, or what is that approach that you want to take to find out more? So instead of saying, hey, I'm Larry, I'm a senior program management and senior project management resource, right? Instead of doing all that, let me tell you about me, or if they say, hey, tell me about you, I would say, I'm happy to do that. It would be really nice if you shared with me what you need at the moment. What are the biggest challenges in the company right now? So if whether you have a position or don't have a position, or if they don't have a position, ask them where their greatest needs are. If they do have a position, then I don't consider this an informational interview. So I'm assuming that it's fuzzy in that regard. So your job initially is to figure out, well, okay, where do I take this conversation? Don't tell them about all this stuff in your 30-year work history, or however long you've been working, or 20 or 30 or 40 years, or whatever it is, if this stuff doesn't matter. So what you want to do is always want to sell to the gap. In order to be able to sell to the gap, you need to find out what the gap is, not make an assumption about what you think the gap is. Okay, yes, I want you to have an inclination going in that they probably need somebody with your skill set. But he may or they may say something that says, well, we have these areas so here's a great example. And Larry, I know you're in project and program management, but I can't remember if you have like an industry expertise or a solution line expertise. But if my company has, we have a whole series of program managers that we need, and one manages all the finance apps, and one manages all the networking infrastructure, and one manages all of the business apps, and all this other stuff, and then one manages the customers and this and that. Okay, maybe you have experience in, say, 2 of the 5. Well, if you sit down and there's a preponderance of your experience in one, and then you have a secondary, but you've got some experience in the other 3, and my biggest need is where you have limited expertise, I wouldn't even be talking about where my bread and butter is. I'd be talking about all the stuff even in the limited side, because that's what they need. So that's what you guys have to understand, is you need to illuminate your background as it relates to what they need, not what you're awesome at. Okay? And I understand that people say, well, we want you to play to your strengths. I'm talking about you getting off on the right foot and getting the discussion going in the right place. The person in the interviewing process who maps what they do to cover what the employer needs is the person who gets the job, right? And all the other things need to go along with that. They need to like the person and all that stuff. But you could be a way better project manager or program manager, but because you kept talking about how you had all this experience over here in these manufacturing companies and that, but they were really looking for something differently, you missed the mark. So just be really careful. So you want to be getting some boundaries upon which to share yourself within, if that makes sense. And you can only do that by having them sit down and let you know that. So a true story. When Stacy Stacy Gilmore recently joined us. Well, I guess it's been 5 months now, I guess. We sat down. I said, hey, here's what I need. Right? Like don't even tell me about you. This is great. I kind of saw your resume, but let me tell you what I need. Now I want you to tell me how you support all this stuff. Right? Well, but most people aren't going to do that. So you have to draw it out of them. So that's especially important in an informational interview. It's especially important if you are interviewing for a job without the job description. I have a video on that too. So check that out. And Larry, I would watch that other one too, without the job description. Same kind of concepts. All right, that's a great one. Hi, Patricia, Maxim, Valeska from Texas. Fabs from Munich. And Kara is mentioning this guy. It's really sweet. I mean, there's 9 little videos. The total watch time is probably 30 minutes. To give you an idea. It's like 1 to 5 minute videos. But each day, it's about just watch the quick video, work the lesson. I give you the workbook to do that. Check that out. It's really, really cool. Okay, let's see this. Hang on. Spinning here. Patrick in Boise. Just reviewed your 5 questions to ask in a job interview. I had 5 different managers in the past 13 months. I think I should ask every new manager the same questions, even though I'm employed. You should. Yes, we don't need to belabor this one. And if y'all there are interested, the video is out there. It's a good one. These are killer questions to answer. Or to ask in a video. One thing that I didn't mention earlier, and I know a lot of you know that I have the interview intervention book. The interview intervention book is still shipping. Takes a little bit longer because the USPS mail service, even because it goes out to the world or wherever, is just a little slower with everything. But you can order that book, and when you order it, it's the book is free. Everything is free. I ask for materials and handling $7. I'll ship it anywhere in the world. But you get the ebook and the audiobook. But in addition to the ebook and the audiobook, you get an ebook called How to Interview the Employer. 75 great questions to ask before you take any job. That's a really good one. That's for anybody who is interviewing, job searching. I would highly recommend that. I mean, I talked about this guy. This is a speech turned book that I did in 2013, 2014. This book came out where it is about conceptually, how do you look at goals, where do goals come from, and all that other stuff. So it's kind of a nice, kind of a 1-2 whammy that you can grab. But I think that's a great idea. Helena, my leader, attitude, optimism, from inspiration, great advice. First 3 minutes thinking. We are taking notes. I love it. You can loop it back all you want, but you got to get that, Helena, you got to get that stuff dialed up, man. That's actually, I didn't ask this, but if anybody who's in the leadership program wants to share with folks in the chat, what their experience is. I mean, I just love it. I mean, it's fun. It's a really, really good crew. All right. Joe OJ, been out of work for 4 years, 2 masters, a couple of certs, and a lot of experience, short of a paper bag over my head. How do I look better? I'm always coming in second place. All right, let's talk about this. So, Joe, I could talk for days on your question alone, not to be funny, because there are a lot of things that go into getting hired, the least of which are credentials, okay? So don't get me wrong, education is awesome, okay? But you are highlighting the institutionally paid for education, and most employers, and I don't know what those certifications are, but most employers don't care as much about that as they do about work experience. Now, since I don't know what your work experience is, if you have good work experience, so let's say you do, then it becomes a storytelling issue. So I always tell people, I coach a lot of people one-to-one like this. And most of them, as you can imagine, have the goods. And what do I always say? If you're in an interview, you are qualified. Okay? They're not talking to you because you're not qualified. So based on what those 3 little lines there that you gave me, I would say you have an interviewing issue, not a credential issue. Okay. Now, when I get in those coaching sessions with people and we role play and they tell me how they'd answer the question, and then I tell them how they should answer the question, and then they look at me and we giggle, but they're like, that doesn't sound anything like what I said. It's like, yeah, I know, but my way you're going to get hired, right? Because what you're doing is you're organizing the right story. You're mapping it properly, right? You're hitting the psychological triggers that the interviewer it needs to resonate with them. So my point to you is, and don't worry about all what I'm saying right now, if you have not gotten the Interview Intervention book, number 1, I would recommend getting that book. Number 2, more or less free. Number 2 is I have a webinar called 3 Keys to Ace Any Job Interview. It's a great one. It's about an hour of teaching, and that will really help. And then, of course, I have an interview playlist on my YouTube channel, which you can check out. But I would actually start with the webinar and the book, because that's going to tell you how to share your stories. And I have a feeling that when you read through that book and when you listen to that webinar, you're going to understand why it's a storytelling problem. Virtually everybody that I coach has a storytelling problem. They do not have a qualification problem. So check that out. I hope that helps. I know that was a little high level, but that's really where I would go. Pablo, how you doing? My boot camper and leader, love it. Well, I'm going to give you a quick answer here. Patrick, any thoughts on working for Amazon in a management position, new fulfillment center to open in the fall? A recruiter has made contact with me so early in the process. Yes, I think Amazon's a great company. I know a number of my coaching clients interview with them and have taken jobs with them. I have some coaching clients that have worked there and left. I think I would always point you back to, are you mapping your requirements? And it's not, is it a good company? It is a good company. Is it a good company for you and what you need? Only you can determine that. Todd Childers. Like Amazon, definitely recommend your research for the position for sure. Steve G. Raj, how are you? From Philly. Warren Coyle. I am not, but I love Summerlin. Here we go. Daisy, I don't know if... hang on, let me see if I can pull this up really quick. This guy... Daisy, any nurses out there? I currently work in specialties of utilization management. Daisy, let me see if I can get this up here quickly. Whoop. This guy, Billy Collins, you should look him up. I don't know, Daisy, if you are, I think you are in the Mile Walk Academy. I don't think you're in my programs, but you might be like in the private community, and maybe you're in one of the programs or got the book or something. Billy Collins, a nurse, great guy. We have a lot of nurses in the programs, and I would definitely connect with him. And he was a boot camper and is in the leadership program now, and he has been highly inspirational to a lot of people that have gotten in the community, have connected with him, nurses and otherwise, and mentioned that, hey, you were at the live show and Andy shout out his praises. He is a super guy. He'd be easy to find if you just look him up on LinkedIn, and I know he would be proud to help you or connect you or get connected with you or give you some advice. He is a very diverse guy, really, and a great individual. Medina, I know Andy is against open to new opportunities thing, but is it okay to put ONO at the end of my professional headline? Medina, no! Don't do it! Hang on. Okay. Medina, I know Andy is against open to new opportunities thing, but is it okay to put ONO at the end of my professional headline on LinkedIn? Don't do it! Okay. It doesn't work to your advantage. Every recruiter out there has the LinkedIn recruiter package. When they go and search, they search for people, then they can see you're open for new opportunities. dang, if you fill out your LinkedIn profile, put a headline in that actually means something, that highlights what it is that you do, that puts in the keywords and all that good stuff, put a good looking picture out there and all that. And then in the notes to the recruiter, you check open to new opportunities and all that other good stuff. When the recruiters go in and they use the LinkedIn package, they can say, go out and search for all the project managers in the Chicagoland area that work for Fortune 500 company, whatever, that are open for new opportunities. Okay, they will find you that way. All right, so I would not take up that real estate. I just don't. I'm dead set against it. I really am. Mayo. All right, let's see about this. All right. I'm a production manager and I've managed 4 employees. It was a small business and oversaw the product quality. I want to apply for the same or a higher position. How can I write my summary in the resume? Mayo, I wrote a video on how to write the perfect career profile. That's your summary. Just check it out. It's got all the goods. Juan Pablo, are there any boot campers from Mexico? I'd like to talk to you. There are boot campers from over 100 countries. I'm sure you'll be able to find them if you. I don't know if you're in our groups or what, but all right. Let's see. Mary's asking, Brené Brown's commencement speech for the University of Texas class of 2020 suggested that during their future interviews, the graduates will be asked about what they did during the pandemic, and it was the end of their matriculation. And it was the end of their matriculation. It's gold for the interviewer to get into the psyche of the applicant. Do you predict any other content questions that will be addressed or that will be added to the job search of the future? So I will tell you this. If I was interviewing right now, it would be the first question I asked. Because what does that tell you? Now, think about your situation. So some people have been affected, but 99 point some odd % of the world had not been affected. We've just been locked in our homes, right? I know a lot of people have died, but most people have been inconvenienced, is the fact of the matter, just statistically. So I want to know what you spent your time with, and I would be even more specific. I would probably ask, what did you do with the extra and found time that you had as a result of this? So that's what I would be looking for. It would tell me how they react to an unexpected change. It would tell me about their attitude and their mindset. It would tell me if they were interested in upskilling and if they were passionate about something and learning something. And even if they said, hey, I took this opportunity to pick up the guitar and learn it. Awesome. That's equally as good to me as far as points scored as if you said, I went and took the CCNA certification training for Cisco networking or whatever. Okay, like whatever you needed to do to help yourself and improve your life, to cope and all that other stuff is phenomenal. Now you asked me, okay, so that's my thought on that. Now you asked me if there are any other questions that might be asked. Now you could start getting into, especially for senior positions or people that are running units or other things, I would be asking things like, based on the coronavirus pandemic, did you identify any new or altered products that your company should create going forward? How did you handle it? You know, did you look at it as an opportunity? What did you do? Like you start going along those lines. So I just got done saying back in my talk, I had to trash everything and then go with something that I thought. So here's how just so you guys know my mindset about my programs. I feel like my best marketing is to give you enough so that you can actually get an understanding of how this can help you. Okay? That is my goal. I feel like if you can see what this is and see what it looks like, so like I showed you the workbook really quick, I want you to know what you're getting. You kind of know video-wise, you kind of know style-wise, and those kind of things. Okay, so I have to use all of those to stay in alignment with what I want, and now I'm dealt a pandemic, so I created a way for that to happen, recognizing people are going to be watching their dollars, right? Because they were, right, some were out of work and all that other good stuff. So in the mind of an executive, I want to understand, what did they do? So what did you do for your employees? What did you do for your team? Did you lose any steps? What could you have done to anticipate a catastrophe like this? Like you could pick 10 or 12 good ones along those lines. Now, if you are unemployed at this moment, then it's going to be all about, well, what did you do to upskill and all that good stuff? Like might not say that. They might say, what'd you do? So, Mayor, for you, for example, here's your answer. Well, I was in the middle of my job search. So recognizing that organizations were going to be going through some uncertain times and this and that and the other thing. So what I did was I assessed the markets. I looked at what organizations were going to be in demand as a result. I reshaped the way I job searched and so forth, right? So like now you're talking about how creative you are for a lot of those things I told you to do, right? Like, okay, that's awesome. And so I had to make an adjustment, even though I'm unemployed, but it really helped me learn these things about what happens and how to read the market and how to, right? Those kind of things. You can spin anything. I don't care what your situation is. You can make you sound awesome as a result of the way you reacted to what happened. And I volunteered, and I went and supported this, and I whatever. Started sewing masks, right? Like anything that's good. Kraz, thank you for all you do. 3 questions. All right, let me see if I can get one or two in there. Okay. I'm from Ukraine looking to relocate to Germany. How to properly inform the employer in a cover letter and or CV that I'm looking for the relocation. So it's a couple things about relo. I always, so first thing is, just to answer your question very simply, I already created a video on this entire thing called How to Get an Out-of-State Job. It applies whether you're moving from Ukraine to Germany or whether you're moving from Illinois to Wisconsin. Makes no difference. As a matter of fact, interestingly enough, we have a lot of people that are relocating to Germany in our programs. I don't know if you saw her beautiful face, Rachel, with the white background with the dark hair. When I showed you the leadership page, she moved from South Korea to Germany. And we have another boot camper move from UK to Germany. We've had a number of other people move from different companies or countries to Germany, and they've been successful. And so the one piece of advice I would give you there is, well, first go check that video out, and I have all the answers there. Number 2 is you should make sure that you're using the proper resume format. They have a different style and all that good stuff. So you need to make sure that you're prepped there. Let me see. Hey, Philip, how are you? How to make recruiters from another country find me on LinkedIn. What you're going to need to do is you probably are going to need to designate that's your new location. Okay, and I would look at how to get found on LinkedIn. I have a video on that. And then the third one, hey, DA from Sonoma. Oh, makes me want to have wine. My official position is titled business analyst, but most of the time I'm assigned to solution architect role. What should I specify in the CV, business analyst or solution architect? You could put both if you wanted. You could put business analyst, solution architect if you wanted to. You could also put in bullets that show the different responsibilities if you wanted to do that. So I do have it's in my resume writing masterclass or in the boot camp how to do all that stuff, but it's okay to do that if you want to. Miss Pat, I want you to know, I have your document sitting on my work table over there. The best advice ever. Focus on the future calling. You don't have to like give up everything and go and find your gift and then chuck everything. It's not what I'm talking about. Putting yourself in motion to get on toward where you want to go. It's not like I woke up in July of 2015 and said, okay, I got a 400,000 person community, right? Like that doesn't happen. It's I gotta move my way. What is the first thing I can do? I can start developing stuff and build a community and spend a whole year doing that. Okay, awesome. Right? Like one step. Uh-oh. All right. Oh, there you go. Juan Pablo. Yep, Philip is in Mexico. San Francisco. Topeka. Dean, I got my hour and a half bike ride in this morning. Thankfully, I don't have to work out for 3 hours like I do on Saturday. Jasmine. What do you got here? Losing focus since I have only 6 more months at this job. Feel like stopping work at 5, but the person you just continue to work. That reduces time for job search. Any thoughts? Yes, I would. I'm pretty dang sure you're on my email list. Those emails I sent this week about planning your day, prioritizing, some of the tips I gave you, focus on that. And so if it's me, I would work to 5, but I would be dang efficient, right? Because you want to do a great job. And then I would make sure that either early in the morning or at lunchtime or on the weekends, I was doing all my planning for my job search and then a little bit in the evening. It's the way it is. It's how it is to look for a job when you have a job. It just is. So you gotta prioritize it. But good luck. I love you. Poonam, how you doing? You are an awesome soul too. Annie Lynn, Valeska, good luck, Dalili. I think this might be a question. Hang on. My title is accounts clerk at a hospital, and I have expectations of possessing a CPA in the future. Am I late, and what techniques can I use to be on top? It is never, ever too late to become the person you want to be. Ever. If you're breathing, it's not too. If you are breathing, it ain't too late. Techniques to use on the top. Go get this. I am not being funny. This is your Bible now for you. Good luck, Dalili, with that. DA, awesome. So if you guys didn't see this, maybe we could drop it in the chat if Kara can get that that one about don't take no for an answer, the ATS. The world is one big ATS. But DA's been practicing the don't take no for an answer for over 35 years, have created great networks. How may I help you is my training motto. You get more with sugar than vinegar. You sure do. Awesome. Romeo, first I want to thank you for your valuable videos. It makes a difference. And it inspires me as a recruiter. Awesome. And a future job seeker. Great to hear it, my friend. Medina, if we can submit both a resume and a cover letter for a job app, should we still email a recruiter? Yes. I wouldn't even submit it. I would just email the recruiter. Actually, I would probably boss hunt first, and then I would recruiter hunt second, and then I would apply if I could absolutely not find somebody to send it to. Is there a possibility to work as a freelance recruiter for U.S. companies while I work from Lebanon? There is. There are companies in the U.S. that are open to hiring people outside the country to do sourcing and screening. So yes. Philip, you're welcome. Anybody who's got any questions about the leadership program or the boot camp or any of the job interview mastery, the free program, holler it out before we jump off here. It is a deal of a lifetime, the Career Accelerator. The world is one big yes. Pat, where you been? I miss you. I joined the leader. Oh, wait, can we? Okay, thank you. I hope, Stacy, I hope you get a picture of that. But I joined the leadership program last November. Best move ever. You will be amazed at the way your life will change if you put the time in. And there are, look, I get that it's time consuming. I'm in these programs. I have coaches that I have a coach that where I go to. He has 2 different lines of business, and I go to each of his each month, and it stacks up. But it's really great. You have it. You can go back to it. You can do it at your convenience. The live sessions are fun. The communities are great. And Pat is a classic type of person that's in these programs. These people that want to better themselves. And that to me is, that's as good as it gets. And everybody is like that. Think about if you are interested in working with like-minded people, it's really a great place. It's really a great place. On the job searching side, people are very interested in helping each other. But what's real difficult is the issues that you tend to face depending on what you're doing, where you are in your career, and all that good stuff tend to be diverse. When you're looking at the leadership type of concepts, these apply to everybody all the time. So almost it doesn't matter what you do. So it's interesting to see the different dynamics in the communities. They're not really separate communities. There's obviously crossover for people that were in my job searching curriculums that move and go into the leadership curriculum. But it's really, really nice. They're very, very supportive. And Pat is one of them. So appreciate you, Pat. I like that. Be happy, not satisfied. That's right. Be happy, not satisfied. Actually, I need to make a note about something that I want to do, and I want to thank you for that reminder. Be happy, not satisfied. Andy, oh wait, here's one more. Okay, let me put one more, then we'll move on to some questions. Andy always delivers 5 times more than you expect. I started monthly, but after a month, I found I could use my American Express plan to pay. That's awesome. That annual pack is I mean, they're talking $24 a month is basically what that is. When you look at what's inside that program, it's crazy. Oh, here's a good question. I don't know how far down this is, Care, if I can pull it up. I can't see the times in my listing. Oh, Rochelle is here. Let me see. I will just talk this out. Kara's mentioning that there's a question about what should I expect when I join the bootcamp program. For example, will I be able to share my specific issues in my profile and job searching and get valuable insights? So with the bootcamp, you get different kinds of support. So you join the program, you get access to everything right away. I don't hide anything. You get all the modules and all that good stuff. And what ultimately happens is we send you a few emails over the course of a week to facilitate your introduction into the program. You go at your own pace, but you can certainly get connected with me. You can take advantage of the live sessions that we have. We just had 4 in May. We've got 2 more in June as well. So they're coming up like on the 12th and the 19th. And then all of boot campers, since it's a premium program, have online access to me, so they can actually email me back and forth about their specific issues and ask me their specific questions, and then every day I go into the system and I answer the questions. And some of them we pull out and we actually take into the live shows and we break them down in more detail. But it's really great. And you also can access the community and ask the community your questions. And those people are going to help you. They're going to give you their opinion. We look and we kind of we moderate that to make sure that you're getting sound advice. Stacy watches the communities every day, many times. I go in each day for a little bit to kind of see what's going on, but she's on it more than I am, but she'll pull stuff forward if we need to be alerted, so I need to help somebody. But it's really it's really, really good. And it is I challenge you to find a program anywhere on the internet that gives you that much content, to that level of depth, to that level of awesomeness. Then I want you to package in the online support from me. Then I want you to add in this year will be like over 30 live sessions for the boot campers. Coach, that's more than 2 a month that they're going to have throughout the entire year. So you can come to the live shows or you get those recordings too. There is no program that you can pay one time and get lifetime access, lifetime attendance to the coaching. There just isn't. We poked around. I poked around about a month or so ago. I'm not changing the price on that. It's $597 normally, and when we run specials, it's $497. I can't believe what people are giving you for $600,000, $700,000. I mean, I actually feel sad. I feel sad. Not because I'm sure they've got people who are out there paying for it, but I just don't feel the need to do that. I think $500 $600 is a lot of money, and that for that I'm going to give you a lot of value. So that's how I look at that. I hope that comes through. And if you're not sure, take the Job Search Challenge. Get a feel for that stuff. It's really, really a great product. I even have a VIP packet to the boot camp as well, where you get direct access to me. So you get a coaching session, you get the boot camp, you get a coaching, you get a lifetime attendance, all that stuff, and you get a coaching session with me, and you get direct email access to me. We have a VIP package that allows that. Those people it's really effective. It's really effective. So I hope that helps. Thanks for giving me a chance to put the plug in. Lorenza from London. Lorenza. You and Marie. I love it. I'm assuming you're that Lorenza. Chiroma from Nigeria. Awesome. Shintanyu. How are you? How to network with recruiter on LinkedIn. Check my video on how to get noticed on LinkedIn, and also how to network during your job search. Similarly. Oh, Rob, this is a good one. Okay, this does get confusing. All right, if you're a contractor for a company, which company should be listed, the contract company or the host company? So, generally, not always, and there are some dependencies here, so some variables. If you are working, company XYZ is the staffing company, and you're working for PepsiCo or whatever. So what you could do is you could do one of two things. You could put company XYZ, serving as project manager deployed for, from consulting contract to, and then whatever, working on whatever kind of projects. And then, right, sample projects include PepsiCo, whatever, Northern Trust, whatever. If you have a series from that one company. If it's like one time, one company, then you're contracted to one company. So company XYZ just to PepsiCo. You can flip them if you want to. You don't have to, but you could. But then you need to say, deployed as contractor from or consultant from company XYZ, working on project management projects, blah, blah, blah. And then you can put, like, if you've been on multiple projects, you can put those, if all for PepsiCo. But if you've been working and deployed from, K-Force or whatever, and you've gone to 5 different companies, then you want to say the consulting firm or staffing company, and then sample projects include. That's a different way to do that. If anybody that is in the boot camp, job search boot camp, or my resume writing masterclass, I go into detail about all that because it can get tricky. That's a great question. Oh, look at you. You're so nice. You send me you send me those emails on LinkedIn. I love it. Hi, Andy. Thanks to your videos, I'm deciding between 2 offers. I love it. Folks, I live for this stuff. I live for email success stories. I read every one of them. I save every one of them. I kid you not. Anything that says you helped me goes into a folder in my inbox. I'm not kidding you. It does. It does. And I look at it when I need some, when, you know, I'm a little tired or whatever. I look at that, gets me charged up again. Yeah, this is really good. Warren is a boot camper. I love the fact that the boot camp is a one-time fee and you are a member for life, so you can always look in and get the updates. I'm constantly updating the product. So I'm adding more and more stuff. You get alerts. Hey, he's got a new thing. Hey, we got a session on Friday. You can stop by. Awesome. Hey, I'm covering these things. So we cover different specialties or boosters, I think we're trying to call them, right, Kara? Bootcamp boosters that go deep into certain things. Usually we try to tie that to a couple of different things. So like when the coronavirus hit, we focused on a job searching booster of all the changes you needed to make at a detailed level. And then we did some other stuff for the month of April. And then we did other stuff in the month of May. And I taught about certain things. And then looking at the questions that we're getting in the system, we think, oh, wait, you know what? There's a lot of confusion about that right now. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about at the session. And then there's these Q&As, which obviously is it's not so much of a smaller group. I don't know. But there's usually less people than around the live office hours, although that it's getting more and more now. But you have to realize not everybody can make the live sessions who are in the program, but it's really great. So I get through all the questions, and those are a couple hours easy. So yeah, Warren, thank you for that, man. We love having you, and hope Amanda's doing well, and hope Mama Coyle's doing well too. All right, let's see this one here. We go. Would it be skeptical if an offer came much faster and easier than the other offer? It would be a higher salary too. No. Every company is different. Speed is relative. Some companies think a day is slow. Some companies think a day is ridiculous and they would never be able to do anything before a week. Don't pay any attention to that. Pat, see you later. Dean, awesome. See you tomorrow. Yay. And by the way, this is one thing that I want you guys to know when you get into the boot camp. And I believe is Sumya? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, but when you email me as a boot camper, I need you to please let me know how to pronounce your name. So when you join the boot camp, one of the things that we do, we give you a welcome to show you around the place. The second email you get from me is to share your story with me. So everybody who's in the boot camp shares their story with me, tells me about their history, their challenges, and those kind of things. How do you think I know what these people do? When they're here at these sessions, I know who they are. I know what their profiles look like. I know what their areas of expertise are. I know what their challenges are. So as we get to know each other as they work through the program, it's easier and better for me to coach them because I know that. So when you jump in the boot camp, my dear, please respond to that email. And all you need to do is hit the reply button, and it comes right into a queue, and then Kara tags it for me, and then I read them. I read them every week. It's really, really nice. It's important that you know the people in your programs. And even though there are a lot of boot camp, I mean, there are more than 5,000 boot campers for, over the past couple of years that we've had the program. But those that share with me and I read those stories, we get to know them. Portia, this is a great one. Any programs, advice for job searching while trying to figure out the next step? I have many iterations of skills, interests, values, but need help selling my past and figuring out the next step. Those are two different things, okay? So first things first, figuring out your next step. Now, I only have so much in the public domain that you can access for free. I'm going to tell you a couple places to go to help you figure out where to go. So the first thing is I have a video out there on how to choose the right job. How to choose the right job for you. I take you through a process of self-discovery and a way in which to identify your requirements so that you can take a look at them, so you can use them to evaluate companies that you're interviewing with, or consider different career paths. Okay, that's one place. I have a career changer playlist on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. I also have a playlist that you might have to dig a little on YouTube, but I think it's called 5 Steps, the first 5 steps to career success. It's like 3 videos, kind of helps you through figuring that stuff out. That's the first thing. The second thing is selling yourself is different. That's a storytelling issue. That's more of an interviewing related thing. Now, if you're changing careers and you're going to have to sell yourself with a different kind of past, you have a bigger problem in you have a first hurdle that you have to get over is not just figuring out what route to take, but now you have to surface opportunities and job interviews, which is going to be a little more difficult because you don't have the requisite experience, just like, hey, I'm a salesperson and I'm just looking for a sales job, right? You're doing a wholesale change. So you're going to have to lean heavily on your network to do that. So I would look at the job search challenge for that. So that's free. And then the other thing is then I would go to the interviewing process. There's interviewing tips in the Career Changer playlist as they relate to career changing. And I have one specific video I would call out to you about career changers and how you win the job. I think it's like 10 steps to win the job as a career changer or something like that. But I take you through everything you need to do in an interview in one video on my Career Changer playlist. Now, if you get in the boot camp, so for those of you that want to join the premium program, I have a whole Career Changer module as well. That's effective, as well as a much deeper look at the self-discovery stuff. And I have a session in the boot camp about, and this is a beauty, about not just how to discover yourself, but how you generate different opportunities for yourself. Okay, how to be creative at how to manufacture opportunities for yourself when you're not sure what to do next. Okay, it's a beauty. It's up in the first module. It's really, really effective. It's something we added within the last couple of months because it was becoming such a frequent request that I created something just for that. It's really good. It's really good. I'll tell you what, Module 1 alone is worth the enlistment in the boot camp. But Portia, I gave you a whole bunch of free stuff, and then obviously the boot camp is there. If you need it, plus in the boot camp, you can access me. Hope that helps. Love it. Tom Phillips, let me see this guy. Resume Masterclass, how to list the employer 4-week project for 10 of 15 years. Not relevant to target, but covers gaps. Tom, I'm not sure what you're asking me here. Are you saying you have 4-week projects for 10 of the 15 years on your resume? You do not, if I understand this correctly, I may not, but if you have a lot of 4-week projects, you're not listing all of them on your resume. Sample projects that bring to light what you do. The resume is not a list of your work history. It is a marketing document so that you send it to somebody, and the goal is for them, that person, the recipient, to say, I need to talk to Tom Phillips. That's the whole goal of the resume in an interview, right? So I'm not sure I answered that effectively, but if I got you, that's the way I would go about it. Brandon Detail Guy, great to see you. Satya, thank you for that. Hey, Rochelle, Huntington Beach. Hold on. Oh, somebody's calling about my loan. Trying to refi the house. All right. Hi, did. Rochelle, way ahead of you, babe. Yeah, here, can we, I got to put these plugs up. These are just so nice of these people. Warren, thank you for this. If you do the boot camp, Andy gives you a ton of information on resume writing. It completely transformed my resume. I am selective in what I apply to, and I have a 80% reply using his methods. And this guy, not only is he awesome, but he's in the hospitality industry, which has been tricky, obviously, for the last couple of months and longer even. So Warren, I appreciate that, my friend. Dave, how you doing? My boot camper. Total Woman Ja, I think. How's that? Brand new pharmacist. Will be collecting my license tomorrow. Awesome. Huge congratulations. Can we give her a huge live office hours congrats, tons of claps and all that good stuff. Good for you. That's awesome. What tips do you have to help me secure a job interview and job with no experience besides internship? Number one, you got the schooling. Number two, you got the internship. Internships. Number three, you got the license. All right, you're in pretty good shape. Two things I would do. Number one, I would go through my job search challenge. It's a free online course I give you. It's 5 modules. It's a beauty. Maybe Kara could access or drop it in the chat. But you can head to the Mile Walk Academy. It's on the front page. Just kind of scroll down and click it. Enter your email and go. Or enter your password or create an account if you don't have one. It's free. And then you have it housed inside our system. That will help you generate your opportunities. And then the other thing is on my, I would make sure I got interview intervention, the book package, and then I would check out my interview playlist. But there's a video on there about how to get the job without a lot of experience or without any experience. I think I said I would check that one out too. You'll be in good shape. I have a good feeling about you. I do. Rob from down the block, how you doing? Natalie, you're welcome. Yes, Rochelle is talking to Mahesh, and yes, we only Kara and Stacy with their blue wrenches can add links. But yes, it's recent. I think it might have been just last Friday. The days are all strung together. Dave Wired, how you doing, buddy? Whatever we need here, we're going to get you because Dave's a boot camper. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Dave Wired, any tips for getting in touch with the company personnel when there are virtually no companies with open offices due to the COVID stay-at-home order? Is reaching out to other staff on LinkedIn okay? So, Dave, I would not change. Wait, this is a great question. For everybody, I would suggest that when it comes to the Andy LaCivita, pecking order of techniques, right? Boss hunting, recruiter hunting, all the networking stuff, right? Networking stuff, then boss hunting and recruiter hunting and reaching out to people online, via email, via LinkedIn, and all that good team members at the companies, how to network when job searching and all that good stuff. You do the same thing. You pretend like COVID isn't even there. They're accessing their email. They're either, business as usual or not. I mean, none of this is business as usual, but most companies have adapted to the remote working now. So the other thing is, Dave, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a video out on YouTube about the job searching changes or how to job search during the COVID-19 pandemic. And there's also stuff inside the boot camp that's probably even deeper. But those are some great sources for you. And I would not worry. You shouldn't be walking in offices and it's just too inefficient. So I don't mind you calling them directly and using the tactics I've given you. But I would go as if COVID wasn't even. You just want to make sure you're targeting the right companies, and you will not have a problem. I mean, you're a technologist, so I would not be concerned. I would just use the same techniques. Jonathan Joyner with the cool shades. Hi from Oregon. Hey to you, buddy. Is it common for a third-party recruiter to not share the job description? Recruiter said the JD can't be shared until they felt it would be a good fit. Client is searching confidentially. Jonathan, love this. That is my kind of recruiter, okay? So, is it common? No. Is it smart? Yes. Let me tell you why. So first thing is, any recruiter worth his or her salt has a pecking order to what they want to offer you. Now, I, as a third-party recruiter, reach out to you, Jonathan, and the most people write these words down. I am a third-party recruiter. When I reach out to you, the greatest value I can provide you is a relationship to me. Okay? Dead honest. I am a window into the employment market for you. I am constantly getting new jobs. If the one that I reached out to you about, and when I say reached out to you about, so Jonathan, here's what's happening. I might have a job description. I might not have a job description. My client might have just said, hey, can you go out and get me one of these? I need a practice leader for that B2B unit. And Andy, it's basically all the stuff you would imagine. They need to grow the group. They need to sell. They need to service the product. They need to hire the people, blah, blah, blah. They could just tell me that in 3 minutes. I would know what they're looking for. Okay? All right. So I might have the description. I might not. They might have given me a 4-page description. The last thing I want to do is give it to you. And here's why. I, as the recruiter, should understand what my client wants and what they're looking for. Okay? You, as a job candidate, the last thing I want is you self-selecting, meaning yes, I'm interested, no, I'm not, from a piece of paper. Okay, so you and I need to talk. Now, I also know what the client wants because I know the culture, I know the people, I know the boss, or whatever. So now you and I are having a dialogue, and I'm saying to you, okay, well, what are you interested in? And then you should be giving me your requirements. Now, if I show you the job description before I ask you those questions and get that data, what's happening? You are adjusting what you need, what you think, based on your reaction to what's in front of you. What I would rather do is understand, hey, Jonathan, okay, I got you. I understand you're looking for a technology company. You want a place that's faster paced, that appreciates you more. You're not traveling as much, this, that, and the other. You got your list. All right, now I'm assembling the matching, right? Does it align? Did he say anything that doesn't fit? If what he said that doesn't fit, if it's a deal breaker, like, Andy, I got 8 kids at home, I can't travel, and this is an 80% travel position, I'm going to say to you, okay, this won't fit for you. And it's because it's an 80% travel position. Okay, like something like that. But if you get through your list and it's I really would like to manage a team, but this isn't a management position, I might say to you, okay, is it really that you need to manage a team, or what is it about management? And we have some dialogue. And then I say, okay, well, it isn't a management position. Then you're going to say, well, okay, but if all the other stuff is there, I'm pretty okay. Like now we're having a discussion. Okay, now I can make an assessment. Number one, I can make that determination. That's valuable. Number two, right? You are not recalibrating, readjusting, rationalizing your criteria. Good. We know what you really want, and we know what you have to have, what would be nice to have, and so forth. And now I get to describe the job to you the way you coached me to tell you about the job. See, Jonathan, this job description might match for you, and it might match for Susie for totally different reasons. So I need to share with you what this is in relation to the way you told me you need to understand it. If I just had the same pitch for every person, I'm not treating you as an individual, nor am I giving you the best information that you need to make a good decision about whether this is a good job. If we have a job description that I'm going through with you, I cannot do that. Okay, so, now that's that. Now, if you're not sure, Andy, let me think about it. I want to, I need to talk it over with my wife, my girlfriend. I don't know, I might be moving, whatever. That's okay. I let you go. I want to make sure that you're making the effort so that I know you're engaged. If I give you the job description, you look at the job description, you say, well, hang on, there's this thing. Well, hold on a second. That job description is a wish list. What you really don't know about that 0.7.A.1 is this. So there's all that background behind it. And then what you're doing is you're making assumptions about what that looks like. And we don't want any of that going on. It's getting in the way of stuff. Okay, so we'd rather have that dialogue. Then we have some people who say, look, I am not interviewing without a job description. That tells me about somebody too. they're probably not going to be a great candidate, right? They're probably not going to be good to work with. They're going to be a pain in my ass all the time, right? That kind of stuff. So, but what ultimately happens is before you go in for an interview, you'll look at that job description because we need you damn prepped, right? So that's why that's happening. Now I want to cap it off with this. All right, so that gives you a little behind the scenes of what's going on. But let me cap it with this. When I send you an email and I'm a third-party recruiter and I say, Jonathan, there's my job description. Are you interested in? That's lazy, right? Because all that recruiter cares about is, if you fit, great. If you're interested, great. And guess what? When I do it that way, that's the only thing I have to offer you is that job description. I'm only as good as the job I have in my hand at the moment I have it. Instead of, no, this is about you and I establishing a relationship forever. Do you want that? Do you want me to go act as an opportunity scout for you forever? Or are you just only interested in what I have? So for all of you, another bonus point before we move on. When you think about these opportunities and you are returning a recruiter's phone call, remember, it's not just about the moment. You just don't know. And when I call you about an opportunity, yes, there was an impetus to call you because I think you match something and I'm wondering if I could strike lightning in a bottle with one step. But it rarely happens that way. It usually is, hey, Jonathan, this is great. You probably don't fit or this doesn't fit for you because you like this and it doesn't offer you that. But now I got your information and now I'm a window into the employment market and now I can go be an opportunity scout while you go off and be happy or go look for other opportunities. So you got to think long term. And then this is an opportunity for us to network as well. So just think about that. It's really, really important that you recognize that working with recruiters that are about establishing the relationship are the kind of recruiters that you want to get on the phone with, you want to go meet, you want to have the coffee with, and you want to help and you want to give them what it is that you're interested in so that they can be on the lookout for you. And from time to time, check in with them, like every 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, right? Doesn't matter how your life is going. Just check in. Hey, just checking in. You working on anything? Can I network with you? Giving first, right? Going back to the lesson. All right, so think about that. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, let me see what we got next. Sam's a leader. Hey, Sam, this guy, that video I mentioned I was going to be putting out on June 5th, I mentioned to one of you guys about negotiating your raise. Sam sparked that one, so it's you can thank him for that. By the way, all right, I don't know where we are. 1 o'clock. I gotta get rolling. If you loved it, hit the thumbs up. Here's what we got coming up. Deadlines tomorrow for the leadership program, for that package. The leadership program is always available. It's just this package ends at 11 o'clock tomorrow for the Career Accelerator. Don't miss it if you're interested. Next Tuesday, I'm here, 11 o'clock. Thursday, I'm here, 11 o'clock. The following Tuesday and Thursday, 11 o'clock. All that's the job interview mastery. And then on Friday the 12th, Job Search Boot Camp, private coaching for members of that program. So if you're interested, what would be really smart is if you're on the fence, you want to get in the boot camp, get in now, go through it, come on the 12th with all your questions. We'll get you all answered up. All right, guys, ton of fun. 2 hours with my chums. I love it. You guys be good. This will be up there for the replay. If I didn't get to your question, drop it in the chat. I will do my best to answer them. Just put it in the comments, and I'll do my best. All right, you guys be good. Talk to you soon. Take care.